Well, once again, Fresh Salon is with us. Fresh year, fresh new you, so to speak, or just freshening up your look. It's so great to have you guys here with us. And we have Lindsay Pendergrass and Megan. And I should say I'm sorry because you do my hair and I love it. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
We're talking about foiling highlights, right? But specifically Babylights.
Yeah, so there's not that much of a difference. The difference is they're much smaller microweaves. It's about how small how much is in the hair and the placement on the head. You're kind of packing them in there, and it gives it a much more natural look and how it grows out, less of a harsh line.
I like, yeah, because I think sometimes you see a lot of striping. You see, and maybe that is the bigger, thicker chunks, correct?
Yeah.
Because you can see it. Megan's hair is so natural. This is something that you do, right? So, and the right around the face, it seems like that is sort of like where people want it, kind of the money.
Yeah. Every
right?
blonde wants to be nice and bright right around the hairline. They want the hairline to look soft, not stripy. So, kind of packing the Babylights even more around the hairline. So it gives it that money piece.
How long does something like this take? Now, say with someone with Megan's length of hair, how long would this take?
The length of the hair really doesn't matter.
Really?
It's about how much hair they have on their head. But this is takes a little bit more time than regular foiling because you're doing so many and they're so tiny. So usually around an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's very tedious, but it's worth it. The grow out's much more pretty.
I know, it is. I appreciate it. I know, because I sit like you sometimes for quite a while to have it done. But
have
for
a
you,
mimosa or two while you wait.
Exactly, always a nice thing. As for you, though, I've never really asked. It must be tough for you. How many could you do in a day? I mean, you must get awfully
I've done
tired.
5 in one day, back to back. So that's a few hours standing behind the chair, but I love it.
Oh, it definitely can see that you definitely have the expert touch here. So can you do now, I know sometimes when you get foils, you do full, you do partial, can you break it up? Or do you need to with the baby?
It just depends on what the client needs. Okay. A lot of the time, they just need their ends a little brightened, so can kind of mix some balayage with that, just whatever the hair needs.
Okay, and then I see that another big trend for something that you do, and I've noticed, is the shadow root, because you really look like you have a very natural root growing out. You can't, it's just beautiful, actually.
So stripes aren't in anymore.
Right.
Everybody wants that natural blonde. So I do just shadow the root just a little bit. It makes this blonde pop even more, but it helps with the grow out too.
And how do you do it? How you don't?
We call it a gloss or a toner, just slightly darker than the highlights.
Okay.
And if you were going for more of a dramatic look, you can go a little darker. It's really great for brunettes that don't want such a high contrast at the root. Doing lots of Babylights will help blend the root and make it look a little lighter.
And then to preserve it, do you recommend any sort of special products to kind of make it
With
last
blondes,
a little long?
you always want to use purple conditioner or shampoo. She loves her purple balm, and it stays nice and beige. Sometimes a little purple, but that's not terrible.
No, not at all. Well, it's wonderful. Of course, this is compliments of Fresh Salon, always with us every Wednesday. So definitely tune in for next week as well. But want to thank you, Lindsay. Want to thank you, Megan, for both joining us and telling us all about these new tips for the new year, new you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.